Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nervous Nessie. Today, I wanted to talk about ways to pass time at the airports. Now, the airlines suggest that you should get to the airport at least 2 hours early for domestic flights and 3 to 4 hours early for international flights. And a lot of times you can't really get there that early. Maybe traffic was bad, maybe you overslept. But if you are someone who kind of follows the suggestions of getting there very early, then you get there and what are you gonna do? You're just kind of killing time. I am one of those people who does get there very early. Usually I try to get there about 2 hours early, but I don't get that bored because I've discovered a lot of different things that I can actually do at the airport. And so I wanted to share with you some things to think about that you can do whenever you get to the airport very early, or if you have a layover, in order to kill some time. So the first thing that you can do is explore the terminal. You're in the terminal for X amount of time. Why not just look around and see what all's in there? Check out the different shops. See what the restaurant options are. Go through and look at all of the souvenirs that you could get. Just walk around, and if you have, let's say, a long layover, you might even be able to explore some of the other terminals, not just the one that your flight is in. A lot of times, each airline has its own little terminal, but if you have 5-6 hours to kill, you could wander through the airport to the other terminals and see what they have. I've been in some big airports where one terminal has very high-end things, think Gucci, stuff like that. I do not buy that stuff. I do not have that kind of money. Nothing wrong with that stuff, but I just do not have that kind of money. So it's a little disappointing when I get into those terminals because I'm like, well, there's nothing in here for me. But if I have a lot of time, I can go to a different terminal, and it can be daylight and dark from one terminal to the next. It could be the next one has a lot of inexpensive gifts and things that you can buy, and then maybe you go to the next terminal and that's where all the restaurant options are. So explore the terminal while you're at the airport in order to kill some time. Speaking of restaurants, a great way to kill time is to eat in the airport. Now, yes, the airport food is a little bit pricier than what you will find outside the airport. But if you're wanting to have a meal, might as well do it in the airport and kill some time at the same time. Another way to kill time while you're in the airport is to charge all of your electronics. Dig all the electronics out of your bag and find an outlet. Most airports have tons of outlets for charging, and sit there and charge all of your electronics. Especially if you have a camera that has a good amount of batteries, just go through and charge all of your batteries. If you have a power bank, charge that. If you have a tablet, a laptop, your phone, just go through and charge everything. Now, if you're pressed for time, having a power strip where you can plug multiple things in and charge at once is great. But if you have the time, might as well go through and charge your electronics. The next thing you can do to kill time in the airport is read. If you brought a book with you, just sit there and read. But if you didn't bring a book with you, the airport usually has a lot of different stores where you can buy books, newspapers, anything, and you can purchase those and sit there and read. Maybe you don't have an actual book, but you have a tablet that has a book on it. You could sit there and read. If you do Audible, you could sit there and listen to a book being read to you. Reading is a great way to pass time and not let you be bored. Another option for passing time is do a craft. Do arts and crafts. I have my cross stitch project. I actually take it with me when I travel, and I'm sitting there cross stitching in the airport. I've seen people doing crochet, I've seen people knitting, and it's kind of fun because when you see someone that has the same craft that you are doing, you can strike up a conversation and talk about the actual crafts itself. So not only are you working on the craft that you wanted to do, but you're also passing time by having a conversation with someone that has the same interest as you. The next thing that you could do to pass time is sleep. You can take a nap. Depending on when your actual flight is, having a nap in the airport could be quite refreshing. Maybe you had an early flight and you had to get up super early to make it to the airport, but now you've made it to the airport and you have time to kill. Take a power nap. That way you can be refreshed for the flight. But one thing to remember is keep an eye on your items, especially things that are a little pricier. You really want to make sure that you keep an eye on your stuff. Otherwise, you could wake up and it could be gone. Now, the likelihood of that actually happening is not as high as you would think, because in the airport, there are so many cameras watching everyone. There's security all over the place. So if someone were to actually steal your stuff, they would be really stupid to do that. What I usually do if I need to take a nap at the airport is my backpack has my pertinent things in it. My ID, my money, my cameras for my YouTube channel. So I use that as a pillow. That way, if I fall asleep and someone tries to take my backpack, it's under my head. I'm gonna wake up when my head thuds and hits the floor. If you're in a bigger airport, then look out for different massage businesses or spas, because if you have the time for it, you could get a spa treatment while you're at the airport. I've seen this and I've really wanted to do it, but I didn't have enough time, and I figured I'd rather spend my money on the trip itself than getting a massage. But if you have the financial means and you have time to kill, you could get a spa treatment at the airport. I've seen some hair salons in the airport. So if, let's say, you had a long layover, you could go in there and be pampered while you wait. And the last thing that you can do in the airport to kill some time is people watch. Maybe you didn't bring a book, or you're not into reading, and you don't do a craft, you don't have the money for a spa, you aren't that hungry, you really don't want to take a nap, then just sit and people watch. Grab a seat that is facing the actual aisle where people are walking back and forth, and just sit and watch people. It is actually very entertaining. You get to watch little kids going through with their little backpacks or their little luggage with the family. It's very heartwarming. You get to see the people that are sprinting through the actual airport trying to make their flights. It's entertaining. I hope you enjoyed this video where we covered some things to help kill time in the airport. And if you have any questions or comments about the items that I talked about, feel free to leave those below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know when the next video comes out, then subscribe. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the next video. Bye!